with any luck, we'll be live soon. So, hello everybody. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie, and this is what I got over here. There she is. Woohoo! And together we make the Mad Scientists. There we go. Lovely.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Paula. Hi, Mariah. Hi, Dana. Hi, Fran.
Hi Paula. Hi Mariah. Hi Dana. Hi Violet. Hello. Hello Fran. Don't want to leave me out. Now, I've got a lot of things on here.
Hi, Miriam.
Oh, hi Miriam. I can't see her yet. Oh, she only just popped in now. Yeah.
Hi, Trish.
Mine's delayed, I think. Hi Trish.
Yeah, it may be a bit. Okay,
So
what,
there's
do you,
some
what do you
things.
got there? Let me get off the camera here. Let's see
There's
what
some
you
things I
got.
want to show you. I've got these two were left like this because this was Mermaid Lagoon, and this one was and still is peacock feathers. But I
Over
did
here.
not have pads, the oxide pads to do the front. But I've had them on order for a while, and hey presto, they arrived today.
They arrived. Yay!
I can do those now, and because I've got, if you look inside, it shows me I've got both sprays, so I can do the crackle with these because I use the sprays for the crackle. And I just wanted to show you something because I've got the spice marmalade here, but I haven't got the oxide pad. I still haven't got the oxide pad.
Oh.
I'll have to get that next time I've got a bit of money. But what I have got is both sprays. I've got the spray stain and the oxide in spice marmalade. So what you could do if you just wanted to make a nice pretty little folder without bothering about whether it's telling the truth about what you've got or not, you could use the spray, the oxide spray on the front. Yeah. I mean, I've got the pad, spice marmalade pad on the back, but this, I tested out the spray to see what it would be like, and it does look dang good, doesn't it? I mean, you can put that there, and you've got a cover. But it's simply because I chose to do the oxide on the front cover. I don't know why, I just did. Probably because Louisa Heinzel did it on the front cover.
Yes.
But I like it because then I can put something on the inside, which is, like this, and have the oxide on the same page. So you've got oxide, on the same piece. So that was just a thought. You could use the spray on the front if you wanted to cheat, which is often a good idea. So I can do the inside of this, to get that out. I can do the inside if I've got inside pages. I have some inside pages. I haven't made them all yet. Because look at this. I've just made this lot over the last 2 days. It did take me that long to make 23 folders. So I've got folders.
Wow.
Trying to cover the other things I had 1 or 2 of, because I started doing this by using the ones I had most of, like both pads and both sprays. But that's not the case. On some of them, I've got 1 pad or 1 spray. So, yeah. So that's why I did that, so that I'd have something to do it in. And then we've got the inners. I've got inners in quite a few of these, but not all. This one hasn't got any inner pages, but they're quite easy to cut. That has got inner pages. I've done it. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. Inner pages. Now, thinking of it as pages, on some of them, I cut the inner pages out of a thinner page, not out of the same weight card as this is.
Right.
And I'll show you what happened. Now, we've got here some that I did before. Here we are. There they are. So to show you what happens, because this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do some spraying and, finishing off things. And we're also going to do the crackle glazes and crackle pastes, etc. So what we've got here.
Hiya, Mariah.
I did seedless preserves, which if you take that off, you'll be able to see what it's like. Isn't that lovely?
Ooh.
Way
Wow.
sprays. That's Oxide. That's the spray stain. And I used the spray box, and I'll show you how I did it. But you can see what
Yeah.
a lovely texture it turned out to be. This is on card, this one. So it's worked really well. And I like how you get sort of, I didn't put so much of the chroma crackle on here. So it's only where it's thickest, it's actually crackled. And I think that's just beautiful.
Yeah, the very
Beautiful.
bottom, if you put any on the very bottom, what you're pointing at, it's barely discernible here on my camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's more discernible on another one. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
All
I just
right.
dropped and I can't even see it. I've dropped my other, it was under my foot.
Paula said she ordered the marmalade today.
Spice marmalade. Yes, it's lovely, isn't it? That's why I really, really liked it, trying it out like that. And I went, wow, all those
Yeah.
lovely colours in it. Superb.
Mhm.
Yes. But I shall have to wait and get the Oxide pad to go with it. Now then, let's put this back in. Now, I actually did this the wrong way round. But, you know, it's only a question of what you're putting on here. Because I had to turn that upside down because it's normally that way round. But that's okay.
How can you tell?
Because I put the paper, the thick coffee dyed papers at the bottom.
Oh, you know what you did. I see. Okay.
You see, so it actually should be that way up.
All
So we've got that one done. And then I did vintage photo. This was lovely. Really, really lovely. Isn't that nice?
Wow. Now the one at the top, I can see
There's
the
more
crackle.
crackle.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it in the other one because there wasn't much there. It was just the substance put on there and not cracked so much. But look at the differences. That's what I'm thrilled about. You've got this sort of pale color here because it normally dries white, but because it's on a substance like distress that is reactive with water, it's reacted with the chroma crackle and with this one and with that one and with that one. So look at the different ways it's come through. I love this vintage photo. It is so like the color of a vintage photo. That really is fabulous. Just fabulous. So the three I used are, let me tell you the ones I used.
All right.
This is chroma crackle. I don't think you can get hold of it anymore. I'm not sure, but I love it so much. I've got another tube, but the top doesn't work. So when I finish this one, I can swap the tops over. So I shall have it for a bit longer. And then I used this one, which is the golden crackle. So the first one is chroma crackle. That's golden crackle. White opaque medium that cracks as it dries. And then the next one is this Deco Art Media Crackle Glaze. So it dries transparent, but it absorbs colour. Oh, so good. And then the last one is the Deco Art Media Crackle Paste, which dries white. And again, you can see the difference between those two. It's just wow. Fabulosa.
Wow. Okay, well, I know Eddie really, really wanted to see you do this, but
yes, well, I'm going to, but I've got two more to go. Hang on. So this is lumberjack plaid. Isn't that glorious?
Wow.
I love this red here. Oh. And we've got a sort of almost a purpley color in this one. And that one's more of a pale red. And this one is quite rich, really. But yeah, isn't that fabulous? It's almost cracked. It's cracked here, here, and here, and here. And it hasn't cracked there or there.
Yeah, it's not very discernible again.
No, but it's such a fine crack. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, it's only because this is just my Kindle with the Kindle camera. If I had my proper camera set up through the computer, you'd be able to see that. I'll be able to focus in on that beautifully. But I'm sorry, I'll take some pictures of these and put them in Makers later.
Yes.
Okay. I will. Last one of these that I only did 4, is old paper. Now, this is what I learned doing this one. This is on thin paper.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was it cracked a whole lot more and practically curled right over. It really did.
The wetness, yep.
Yeah, curled the paper.
Yep.
So you really need to be able to put it in the center of a bit of paper if you're using paper and put weights around it to keep it down, or use the card. So I'm going to use the card. So I could do that one again and use the card. But look at that. The different colors in the Chroma Crackle. Isn't that amazing? For some reason, that bit absorbed a lot of color. But it's cracked in a sort of swathe across the top.
Yeah, very nice.
But it hasn't had the other, the Deco Art Media Crackle Glaze has not absorbed quite as much of the color there.
Can you hold that
Isn't
up? Hold it up more set. There you go. More centered on there. Oh, yeah.
See, it has absorbed some, but it's not as strong as that, which is quite a surprise. But it's. I mean, these pieces have already popped off, so I'll probably do that again on the card and see what happens. And we'll test it against it. So what I've got here is Mermaid Lagoon and Peacock Feathers, and those two I'm going to have a go at. So let's get my tea out of the way, and let's get. Yeah, I've got to remove a lot of stuff because I want to do it with the box. You really need to when you're spraying. Right, remove the box. So I'll do the Oxide thing first, I think. That's what I'll do. I'll do the Oxide thing first. And then go on. And then those will be finished in their pages. Not with the back bits yet. But that one, I've already got the glaze. So I've done the glaze on the back there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think you saw me doing that last time. So,
Yep.
Now I've got to get this closer in. I think I can get it in there. Let me just test.
Check your camera.
Yeah, I've got to test with this first.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So the first thing is to finish off with the colours, as we've got them now. So we'll do Peacock Feathers first. So this is doing the outside so that we've got a finished front for it, because we've got everything else done. So I'll take these out because it's much easier to manage without those in the way. And a spray of water. Not much, just a bit. Right. I'll mute for this.
Okay.
You can tell this is the one I forgot to put water on because you can see the shape of the pads there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well, never mind.
I'm just sitting here envying all your beautiful bottles there.
I keep wanting to reply. They're the ones I got earlier. You know, I've had the distress spray stain, which is not easy to say, for some time. I mean, I've had those for quite a few years. And as I say, the Oxide sprays arrived about a year ago. So they're a bit newer. I don't think it was much further back than that. There we go, that's done. So now we've got the front done on that one, except that I want to add a little bit more from what's there. I don't want to waste what's there, because that's the way you get a more in-depth layered look. Not much left, actually. I can leave that to dry naturally while I get on and do the next one on this one, which is Mermaid Lagoon. So there's Mermaid Lagoon. Just got to rinse this. There we go. And after this, we'll do the. Well, we'll find.
Hi, Diane.
There we are. Tissue first, and then we'll do the crackle. I mean, it's really simple. There's nothing very mysterious about it. Only in that it reacts while you're asleep, and when you wake up, it's like whee! Lagoon. I like to go over it like that, so I'm trying to discount the possibility of getting that funny pattern even if I forget to put the water on.
Yeah.
So
yes, you wake up to a lovely surprise.
Yeah. And it always is a surprise for me. I mean, I know what's happening. I know what's likely to happen, but it always comes out a bit different each time, seems to me, which is lovely. Very kind of it to do that for me.
So let me ask, is Rufus on the floor chewing on a squeaky toy?
Yes. Can you go and do something else, young man?
No, that's all right. You leave him be. He's happy.
Okay.
He's all right.
Not upsetting anybody with making too much noise. I'm trying to do noisy things away from the microphone. That's the word. Microphone. Words are hard. I think that's lovely. I do like leaving some white space. I find the white space makes it look nicer because you can see all those little tiny speckles that are left, you know? See, in the patches, all the little tiny speckles. So pretty. I like them. So that's another one done. Right, well, watch this and we'll get on with something else.
The new Jenkins. Rufus is just being Rufus.
Jenkins?
I don't know the reference, but she knows.
It's paint. It's
No,
golden.
she was talking about Rufus with the squeaky toy.
All right. Not about the paint. Because we always say Jenkins when we're in PM, well, not always, but often say it when we're in PM Artist Studios.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, there you go.
Thingy. Stream. Words are really terrible today. I've done so much work today as well. I've got the fridges, the little mini fridges clean. It's just waiting his lordship to wangle it in here. The kitchen is clean and everything's put away, ready for them coming on Monday. The room upstairs is cleared, ready for them coming on Monday. All that's left, really, is dealing with the outside because there's still a lot of weeds coming through the patio, so I've got to do that. Space marmalade. So those two are done. We just need some inners. So the way I've been doing the inners, I'm sure you've seen them before. I thought I had some inners ready. There's one. And the other one's on the back of that one, I think.
I get it, Paula.
So inner pages, yes. I'll take these off because we don't need them at the moment. So, and the inner card as well.
Her reference was when, like you said, when you're in PM Artist Studio, y'all say Jenkins.
Uh-huh.
But when we're in your stream, we say Rufus.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put bits of Rufus on things.
Oh,
not today.
Well, you could just drop it on the floor, pick it up, and there's bits of Rufus.
Accidentally. Yeah. So there's my 2 inner pages. So we'll get those out of the way because we want to do these. So what I do is I get, dang, I put the box away. What earth did I put the box away? I don't know what I'm doing. I really, not compost mentis, compost, I think. More like compost. Try again.
I think you're worn out from all the cleaning and moving and distraction.
When Ian came home, he said he thought it was a different kitchen. I said, well done. So we do one of them. That's Mermaid Lagoon. So let's do Mermaid Lagoon.
And the thought
So
that
we do
you
it
have
on
to
the
deal with everything yourself next week.
outside front or outside back. Let's have a look. It's put in that way round like that. So we need this to go on there, out there, and we do the Oxide, and it's Mermaid Lagoons. We do this one, so it's shaky, shaky. It's a bit better. The back. So you could do these sorts of things with something like that as well. But if it says on it, it says it's a textile spray paint, so it should be okay. I mean, I would have thought it would react with Crackle, but if it's an acrylic, it's less likely to. Well, almost unlikely to. So I would use something like paper artsy chalk paint, something like that. That would show through then. So that's good enough. Wipe its nose. So what I then do is I let this dry on its own, or use the heat gun, because you want to do the next piece. Is that done? I think that's done. So I'm going to fold it back that way. And then I'm going to put this over there, like that. Okay? So I'm protecting what's already gone down. Mermaid Lagoon.
Oh, I thought you were going to leave your fingers there.
Well,
there you go.
Yeah. Wipe its nose as well. No reason not to wipe its nose. Take that out of the way. And then I can dry that, and I'll show you how we do the Crackle. See, I've used paper here, so it's going to crack, it's going to bend quite a lot. So we know in advance that it's going to do that. I think if you sprayed it twice, you would get a stronger colour coming through under the Crackle, because you'd be saturating the paper with more colour. And if it was card, it wouldn't sink in so much. So there we go, done. So let's get this out of the way. It's easy without it there.
Yep, don't put it too far away though.
No, it's only over there. So, first, I'll put Chroma Crackle on. Right? Now, the question is, what did I do with my palette knife? Didn't think of that, did I? Palette knife, what are you? Perhaps I can have another one.
It's one of those things that'll just hide under something.
This one. It's all right, I've got
Easily.
another one here. I was using the other one, but this one's here. This is all right. So, what I did with this is, let me put
Now,
this
can you
further over.
see this, Eddie? Is everything okay that you could see this, Eddie? Here we go. Get that camera better. There you go.
So as I can get my little...
Mm-hmm. So this is the Chroma Crackle. Okay.
Yeah. That's plenty. Depends how thickly you put it on, how much of it's going to crackle, how much of it's going to go cracky.
So
Now,
this is the Chroma Crackle you said
actually
might not be available still. So
yeah, well, there are other crackles around. There are billions of them, so there's loads to choose from. I quite like the Prima one as well. That one's quite nice.
There you go.
But as you can see, the Deco Arts is a clear glaze, and that works really nicely, doesn't it?
You're off camera.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing.
I know.
So in places it's a bit thicker than in others, so we're going to get some variety.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Ow! Hit me right in the head.
Sorry. Next one is the Golden Crackle. But as I say, there are so many crackles out there. You don't need to use the same ones I did. I'm just telling you which ones I've used so you can see what sort of effect you get. So, but I do like the difference between a crackle paste that dries white and one that dries clear.
But I think the biggest thing is to know that the thinner, probably the less crackle, the thicker, the more crackle, right?
Correct. And the bigger the cracks as well. The thicker the layer you put down, the bigger the cracks you're going to get.
Okay. All right. Did you catch that, Eddie? He's lurking over there. He doesn't have to answer, but I wanted to point that out.
I'm just going to go over it. That should do it. Trying not to get it too close to the edge, the fold, because that will certainly make a difference. You can see the colours starting to come through already with me mucking about all the time. That'll do. I know it's lumpy, but tough. Next one is the Crackle Glaze from Deco Art Media. Ooh, gosh. Excuse me, folks. I've got to clean up a great big splodge on the floor.
Whoops.
Yeah. I wasn't watching what I was doing. The Crackle Glaze is extremely thin and will fall on your floor. Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Don't do that. I have to get a new piece of tissue now. I think I've caught it. Oh dear, dear me. Right. As I was saying, got loads of it in the lid now. Look at that. Loads of it. It's all dribbled down the outside and everything. So let's put some on here. Yeah, don't copy Cacandy Dana. Listen to the cries of horror.
Squirterlanch. Not a craftalanch, a squirterlanch. There you go, Paula. Squirterlanch.
It's a dribble out. It did. It dribbled right out on the label there. That's probably going to seal that lid on now for a while. I'm going to have to go and clean it up sometime. Oh well.
So, how long does it approximately take to dry? It's basically overnight, right?
Yeah, fully dry. While I was doing it, I did 4 of them. And by the time I got to the 4th one, the first one, which I think was the lumberjack plaid, was starting. No, it was the seedless preserves, was starting to develop. And I could see it starting to crackle.
Hi, Evie. Evie's back. I didn't know you were gone. I must have missed that. You're off camera. Way off camera. Don't hit yourself in the nose with that Kindle. I'm just saying, I know you're close.
Yes, I am. I like to leave some space so that you can see the difference between what the Crackle has done and what the ordinary surface is like. Even if we're used to it, it's nice to see what happens.
Just putting it down with a palette knife and a gentle touch.
Just trying to get it a little bit thicker.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna to remind myself. At the top is the chroma, and then second is the golden, and then third is the Deco Art clear, and then
the one that. And then the last one is the
Deco Art paste.
Crackle Paste.
Yeah,
the white one.
Yeah.
So it's clear white, clear white.
Yeah. Okay.
Just happened that way. They're the ones I could find. Like I said, I've got Prima somewhere as well, but I can't find everything these days because everything's so jumbled up. Ian's been saying we can get some of those carpet tiley things, sort of clean, dense workshop type tiles that lock together, and you can just run things over the top of them like wheels and things. And
yeah.
Now you can try drying this with a heat gun, but I find that it doesn't crackle quite as well. If it dries too fast, it dries before it's had a chance to react. I'm not saying it doesn't crackle, but it doesn't crackle as well, I've found, if you dry it with a heat gun. So I leave that overnight. So we'll come back to that one and see how it's doing when we've finished a few others. All right?
So, Evie, yes, the white and clear. This is all Crackle. And, Eddie, I knew you were out there being busy, but I figured you were listening. Hi, Julie.
So we need that one. Good. We'll get these out of the way because I will do those in a bit. I have got the wild honey one there I can do. But I haven't got an inner page for it, so I'll have to make one. So I was trying to get out the ones that had inner pages already, that I'd already made. So Uncharted Mariner is one. That will be exciting. And Bundled Sage is one. And Rusty Hinge, Antique Linen, Twisted Citron. Don't have the Oxide. I must have the Oxide pad. Why haven't I done that? Yeah, look, I've left a pencil thing in there. So, well, I'll have to do that. Villainous Potion does have one in the pages there at the back. No, it doesn't. I've got in Villainous Potion. What I've got is 2. It has got inner pages. There's the inner page, and it's a page, not a card page though. But I tried the villainous potion my way without looking again at Louis Heinzel, so I've kept that one in there. So we'll leave that one for now. But the rusty hinge should be fun. Antique linen I'll do later. Twisted citron I could do. And aged mahogany could be quite fun. Dusty concord and wild honey. This one is for peacock feathers, because I've just done the Mermaid Lagoon, haven't I? So I'll put antique linen away. We don't want too
Okay,
many out.
Miriam. Have a good day. Have a safe weekend. I like that wild honey. That is a nice color.
Nice colour in it, but I haven't got an inner page for it. I'll have to cut one.
Mm-hmm.
I can do, but it'll take a moment, you know. In fact, I can cut one out of the thicker card, because you know I said the other one, the thinner paper. It's paper, but it's thicker than normal paper, but just not thick enough.
Evie said she would love to see aged mahogany, as in, I know you did aged mahogany. So there's what she has in the aged mahogany. So that's the oxide.
In the pages, yes. So I've got oxide and the spray stain. So I can do that, no problem. And take this off for the moment. Put that over there. And that over there as well. Let me just put that on. There we are. So I know that's there. But I can cut one more page set, then I can do the wild honey as well. So the way I do that, I don't know if I've actually cut the pages live before, but you know, I use a template that I made after a lot of thinking about it and going, I don't know, that doesn't work. Why don't they do it this way or that way? Well, I made another template because, you know, I've been cutting them like this, leaving this scrap and this scrap.
Yeah.
I had to think about that, and I thought, you know, if I don't do it that way, but do it this way, I get a bigger piece of scrap left over. So I've got the tab for this one, and the tab for that one, and only that bit of scrap there, the tiny bit down there, and that's a nice bit of scrap I can make the cards with. See? So, and then on the other side of this one, this is my measurements for doing the inner pages.
Yep,
and I'm afraid I'm using inches because I never really learnt silly old metric. Yeah. That's a foreigner's idea. Nothing to do with me.
Well, I think Russ would beg to differ.
Yeah.
She said that she's measuring in inches because she's never learned metrics. That's a foreigners' idea.
It's French.
Oh, French. Okay.
What?
Yeah, French. Load of Frenchies decided it was a good idea, and the stupid UK government at the time said, okay. It's because we were going into Europe. That's what it was all about.
Okay.
So,
all right. I have some comments for you to interrupt you. Evie, yes, she's going to try it with Crackle. Eddie says, thank you, Fran, for doing this on camera. I've learned a lot the last few streams. And Paula says, Fran, I'm going to swatch fabrics tomorrow. Ooh. Ooh. Wonder how you do that.
Well, you cut a bit of fabric or tear it and put it in something, I would imagine. But I'd like to see what she's going to do there.
Yeah.
And what is she doing with it? Is it just putting fabrics in a little bookie, or is she putting fabrics in a little bookie and doing something on top? I'd like to know that.
There you go, Paula. You two need to converse.
Pounds, shillings, and pennies. Yes, pounds, shillings, and pence, exactly. The real thing. Mind you, I'm not absolutely convinced that we should go back to pounds, shillings, and pence because 12 shillings, sixpences. I mean, I like the coins, but it's not an easy method to add up, is it? Mind you, I'm not that great at adding up inches either. I mean, I can understand feet and inches. When somebody says 4.9 feet, I'm going, what? What the freak is that supposed to be? Not impressed. 4 point.
I have
5/8.
this I have this
5/8.
thing. I'm 5 feet tall, so I look at a distance like from here to the corner, and I say, how many times can I lay down before I get to that corner? And that's how I decide it's like 25 feet away.
I see. Okay.
And I'm usually wrong, but what can I
5 and 1/8. So that's 5 and 1/8, 5 and 1/8.
Ooh, Julie.
5 and 1/8. And then I can put that together.
You asked, she says, no freaking idea, but we'll play. I am using French linen. Ooh la la.
Ooh.
It's a neutral
Cami
beige.
knickers? You using your cami knickers? That one and then this one. Sorry, something's fallen over.
Yeah, your template.
Yeah. Finish with it anyway. So there we go. All I've got to do now is cut that out and cut the corners. And then I've got 2 sets of pages. See?
Well, that's like if you go to Makers and you go to Files, I believe it is. I put in a template there for an 8.5 by 11-inch sheet of paper, standard paper or cardstock, and how many ATCs you can cut from it. So the way I laid it out is to get the most amount of ATCs with the least amount of scrap.
Uh-huh. There we go. I've got my spare bit of card again. And cut up the center. That's we're going out not this Saturday, but the Saturday following for our anniversary. Did I tell you what the diabetic nurse said to me?
No.
Well, she said that I was down in the normal range for HbA1c. So not just in the pre-diabetic, but right down in the normal. So I'm in remission. And when I was talking to her about not having carbohydrates, well, low carbohydrates, and not having sugar, and, you know, not getting puddings and things, and talked about going out for our anniversary, and I can't remember any puddings. She said, you know, once in a while, you could have some cake. Cake.
Well, yeah, my aunt was insulin dependent, so she took shots twice a day, and she monitored her insulin daily, like 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
And she ate like a bird, but she kept track of what she ate, and she knew when she could cheat.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Well, I've not really been cheating like that, not with cake anyway.
Right.
I might have something that has slightly higher carbs than I'm supposed to, according to what I've figured out for me. But I'm still losing the weight, and I think that's what's helping so much. So I'm going to fold this over to make the inner pages, and I'm going to fold it just a little short of the other side.
Yes, we all
So
applaud you.
I've got,
And
so that
and
there's
not
a line.
and not only that, but and I prematurely happy anniversary to you and Ian.
Thank you.
How many years?
I've forgotten.
No, you haven't.
You work it out. 1975.
Oh, that's when my son was born.
There you go.
48. Holy, are you kidding me?
Oh well, there we are.
Holy cannoli, 48 years?
Mm. And I'm doing the corners now on 7 mils. So 7 millimeters. 1.
Hi, Darcy. Yes, congratulations and happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Mariah says, congrats, Fran.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody.
48
It's
years.
just a, it's
Jumping
just a,
Jehoshaphat.
it's just a sort of acknowledgement of endurance.
I'm gonna, honey. we just we just acknowledged 19 years since we met.
Uh-huh.
And okay, yes, Fran says it's just an acknowledgement of endurance.
You know I don't. So now I've got one for wild honey. That's Rusty Hinge. Where's wild honey? There it is on
Yeah,
the top.
endurance alert.
I've got the wild honey one. Okay, so let's do a wild honey. I'll get rid of these because I've finished with those for the
Yeah, you
moment.
might have to adjust your camera again. See
Yeah,
where you
very
go.
likely. So we spray with our sprays of wild honey. So start with the wild. I'd like to see it against Rusty Hinge and what's the other one? Spice Marmalade.
Well, Evie wanted to see aged mahogany.
Yeah, we'll do aged mahogany. So we'll do that first.
Ooh.
Had some blue on my finger. That's all. Aged mahogany. Aged mahogany, where are you? You are required. Spray stain and oxide. So, which way round am I? Let me hoik an old one out and have a look. So if I'm putting it in that way, it's oxide on the inside. So it's spray stain on the outside. Okay, let's have that. There we go. Nicely coloured. Maybe that's what it was. Aged mahogany. Heat. Apply heat carefully.
Mm-hmm. It is, isn't it, Evie? I like that one, but it's the lumberjack plaid that just sticks in my mind. I like that lumberjack plaid.
I'd like to see it against candied apple though, the lumberjack plaid.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I've tried it
The
properly.
aged mahogany is the first one I fell in love with, which I don't have.
I liked the name when I first heard of it. I thought, ooh, I bet
Mhm.
it's not as good as it sounds. Then I went and watched one of Tim Holtz's, um,
Demos.
yeah, the ones in the big arena, where they've got their own stall, one of those, and it really was just as good. It was wonderful. I thought,
Oh,
oh, I
like
better get
the
some.
convention center.
That
Um,
sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Paula asks, what colors don't you have yet?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I've got some that I've got sort of one thing of, and one of those is is forest moss. I've got one ink pad of forest moss, and I've got in hickory smoke. I think I've just got two two pads in that, and in got mustard seed, but I haven't got some sprays in squeezed lemonade. But there's some I haven't got anything of. I haven't seen. Let me see. What have I got in here that I haven't got? What have I got? I've got the list here. I haven't got crackling campfire.
Ooh.
I haven't got festive berries. I haven't got. I think I've got one one spray of worn lipstick. No kitsch flamingo at all. I haven't got any saltwater taffy. I've got one spun sugar, don't know why, and one tattered rose, don't know why. I thought I'd got to try it, but I never bought any more of those at all. I've got most of everything else, at least one thing of, like iced spruce, which I think I've now got one more of. But things like gathered twigs, ground espresso, vintage photo walnut flame, and brush red burlap were almost the first ones I got, apart from dusty concord, wilted violet, and the other one, seedless preserves, one of the first I got. But yeah, it's these newer ones that I don't have so many of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if any. Especially the pinks I don't have much of. Right, let's have a go with the Oxide. I could
Hi,
just do
Michelle.
it easier and then get on and do a load of, just keep doing the sprays
Mm-hmm.
until I've done those. Oh, dropped it. Move that. Pick up aged mahogany and the other aged mahogany and put them away. And we'll dry this one. Dribbling in things. Now I'm doing a fairly complete coat of this. I'm not trying to get the effect of the sprays on the paper. I'm trying to get the effect of the sprays with the crackle. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
different sort of, it needs to be more dense. So see, once that's dry, you can put your crackle grays on immediately. But do you think I should do some more of the inner pages before I start doing the crackles?
Up to you. Julie, yes, that is. Both of those are aged mahogany. Because that card is specifically for the aged mahogany folder. Up to you. How do you feel about it? Did you want to do?
Well, it save me having to move the box all the time.
Yes.
I do wild honey there. Spiced marmalade. Where's wild honey? Wild honey. Wild honey. Then I can get those sprays out of the way as well, you see.
Brushed corduroy. I do believe you have brushed corduroy, don't you?
I have quite a bit of brushed corduroy, yes. I'm not sure if I've got the I'll have to look in the file. That's what it's
Julie,
for.
they look
Yes, I've
different.
got both.
If you look, this first one is going to be the spray stain,
Yep.
and this is
This
why
is
they
spray
look
stain.
different. 2 stripes. The first one is going to be the spray stain.
And then we're going to do the oxide next to it.
The distress oxide. So distress spray stain and then distress spray oxide. And they're the same color, but they dry.
One's the oxide and one's the spray stain. So the oxide has more sort of chalkiness in it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're really lucky and you get other colours in there as well.
Right.
Like with the frayed burlap and the brushed corduroy.
I love you, Trish. I'm sending you lots of love. She has a major headache.
Oh, that's not good. Ian had a bad headache yesterday and he just didn't want to eat, didn't want to be awake. He just took some pills and went and laid down on the bed. So, yeah, sometimes it happens. So, best to do what works best for you. So this is wild honey. This is quite an intense colour, this one.
I noticed that when you showed it earlier. That's why I said I'd really like to see it's...
A spiced marmalade has got other colours. It's one of those ones with other colours in the depths. I haven't tried this yet, so it does have, the pad does have some other colours, you can see. Yeah.
Yellow, orange.
Yeah.
Tinges of this, that, and the other.
Yeah, exactly. Now this is on card. On the previous one, the aged mahogany was on paper, so we'll see the difference when we do those. And I think one of the blue ones was on that as well. We'll see. Get some underneath and I can dry off that corner a bit better. Gives you a more intense bit of the colour, which I do like. And of course, as we're hoping to get it to absorb through the crackle, to show what it can do, you can get a varied look like we did with the lumberjack plaid. You can see that looks glossy, yeah? It's only because it's wet.
Right. Well, and that's what I was asking before. I think mine is just because it's wet, and I'll let it dry, and then we'll go from there. Because I asked because I don't want to put a sealant on it. I'm not done yet. I'll add more layers.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what concerned me, that it had a plasticine type affect. So
yeah. Well, this is refusing to dry. So I think it's just a little bit too deep of a puddle. So what I'm going to do...
Dauber it off?
I'm going to dauber it off, yeah. It's okay, we've got a fair bit on there anyway. There we go. That's good enough. And now we want the bit of paper back. And we're going to fold it over. Put this on this way round. And we're going to put the oxide on. Checking, I've still got wild honey here. Don't want to start putting on spiced marmalade instead.
Right.
There we go. Lovely, lovely jubbly. Get that out again. Let's hope this dries a bit quicker. And it is. Seems to be.
Oh, it's not just there, Julie. I like that one. Well,
yeah, I like it too.
There's not many of them. I don't think there's any I don't like. But I do like that one. I'm
or hickory smoke. I found that weathered wood was a little disappointing.
Oh.
I felt. So that's that one. So that's two. I could do one more and then I think we'll do the putting the colours on. So what should we do? What am I waiting on? Well, the other one I wanted to try was Rusty Hinge.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that you have them where you have examples of the colors down on your box paper, but you also because you hold those folders up in a pile and then you could see the colors together. It's like, oh, well, that goes with that and that would go with that. And
on this one, I've put the glaze on already, so you can see what the glaze looks like on different surfaces as well, which is fun. I really like that. It really does show the differences. Yeah, like it. So we'll do a rusty hinge as well. So I'll use the paper just to see. Could always change my mind and use the card and do it again. Rusty hinge, wild honey. Wild honey. Put those two away.
I think there's a Jim Morrison song, Wild Honey.
Is there? I didn't know that. I'll put it back there. Rusty hinge. Rusty hinge. Come on, where's the other rusty hinge? There we are. Okay, got those two. Good. I don't want to do too many of these because I don't want to forget what each colour is, which I'm quite liable to do. Yep. Be nice to be able to compare between the different orangey colours, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to think what green would go well with that wild honey, and I keep coming back to the bundled sage.
Yeah, I think it would.
I think that would go very well with that. I mean, I
But I
love,
think
go ahead.
no, keep going.
Well, I love autumn. I love the colors of autumn. And so
Yeah,
I, and they're different. This is where the greens, some of them are so close to each other, but they're just different enough to be noticeable.
like the twisted citron. That's nice. I like that. That's one of my favourite greens.
And you saw that those journal pages I showed you earlier. That's where I'm going with that is I've got an autumn piece in mind for a journal page. Forest
Mm-hmm.
moss. Yeah, forest moss is another one I came across that I like.
Forest Forest moss. I'd like to get more of because I saw what Louisa Heinzel did with it, and I went, "Ooh, that's interesting." So I thought, yes, please. Rusty hinge, rusty hinge. Right, so we want this over there, and this. We want this folded over, and we want it on there, like that. I'll just shake this a bit more, I think. That's better, get the rattling going. Yes, that's mixed.
And I'll tell you the other thing, I was looking at all the sprays, the distress oxide sprays and inks, but I think I would lean more towards the paints.
Really? I like the sprays and the pads because they react with the different colours in them. I think the paints are a little less reactive for me,
It could
but I
be.
haven't used
It does.
paper very much, so I
But
can't be sure.
the paints do react. I watched Barb Owen's an old video of hers playing with the paints, and she splattered with water, and it did react.
Yeah.
Um, y'all were talking about Joann's. I need to. There's a Joann's like a mile away from my house. I have to run down there and get some because it does have a good price, and it's not on sale, but which is unusual. They don't usually make me happy.
There we go. Right, so we've now got. Let's do the wild honey first because I will forget what it is otherwise. That's rusty hinge. Let me pop it in there with the other rusty hinge stuff so I know which one it is. Good.
There you go.
Wild honey. We'll do the wild honey first so we get the chroma crackle out. I've managed to get a couple of embossing powders, one of which is scattered straw. Happy about that.
Nice.
There aren't many of them around. They're very rare.
Okay, my Joann's does not have the sprays. It just has the watercolor pencils, the paint, and the alcohol inks.
Oh, that's a shame.
But those paints are a nice price. They're $3 less than per set, less than Amazon. Amazon changes their price. They go by they'll move their prices around depending on how much they have in stock.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever used the Distress watercolor pencil?
No, I haven't. I've used the distress crayons, and that was something else that we really ought to include with this, you know.
I'm just now seeing that. I did not know they had that.
Well, I knew they had it, but I'd forgotten about them. Because I've only got a few of them in a little container.
So you'll have to do another page. Yeah.
Don't forget, we've only used one page of the inner page yet.
Yeah.
Inner page on the inside will have. It hasn't got anything yet, has it? No, it hasn't got anything.
Okay, Eddie.
You know what the inner page has got? Yes, the inner page has got the sprays on the torn papers. That's what it's got on the inside. But it's still got the back with nothing on it.
Right.
So still do something with that.
Eddie says the distress crayons are fun to use. Well, you have to make a video of it now, Eddie.
Yep. You said it. You've got to do it now.
Yeah.
Hop, hop, hop. That went on nice and smoothly. Good. Now let's have the one that isn't supposed to fall on the floor. You think we can manage not to fall it on the floor this time?
Okay, Trish, you take care.
Oh, bye, Trish.
Yep.
Glad you could pop in.
Go rest your eyes and your head and take care. Yep. Oh, Julie got the crayon.
Oh, too. Mistake.
What did you do?
That's the paste. That goes on last. I'd pick the other one up so I get my bands of clear and white.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that mustn't fall on the floor.
Okay, Julie, Eddie, if you have the distress crayons, do they react? Are they water reactive?
Yeah.
Aha. Mariah has some of the crayon. You say that, and I thought I remembered P using the crayons.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. But anyway, yeah, interesting. I only just realized that they had them.
Mm-hmm. Trying to get a fairly thick layer because it's such a nice thing.
Ooh, Eddie says you can spread them easily with your finger when you add a little water.
Mm-hmm. So one more line, and that one's done.
Yep, now this is the paste. Now you can grab the paste.
Now I can grab the paste, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I put quite a lot of that glaze on there. I put 2 dollops on.
Now, I don't know. Is Evie still here that could see this? Yeah, I think she is.
I'm using a little palette knife because it's easier to spread it out into a larger area, but not too large an area, so that I'm not going over the bit I want to leave as the original,
They react differently than gelatos react when doing oil.
Because they're the only ones that sorry?
Mariah says she usually shows them when doing oil pastels.
All right.
Along with Vicky Bouton's crayons. I don't know if I said that correctly.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Vicky Booter. Yeah.
Boutons?
Boutons, I'd say. Isn't it derived from the French?
It's Boutins,
Yeah, it looks like a French word. So, there we are. We'll leave that one to dry now.
which will take a
Leave
while.
over here. Yes,
So
it
we'll
will.
come back Monday. We'll revisit these Monday. Evie or Fran will take pictures,
Now,
however she wants to
this
do it.
is the Mermaid Lagoon one, isn't it? And you
We
can see how it's already starting to crackle in the corners, like along this edge here. Yeah, because that's the Deco Art glaze, and it's just starting to crackle along the edges. Don't know if you can see that there. Can you see that?
I could see a movement. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Eddie has a
Well,
question
up
for
to the
you.
edge. Yeah.
He says, "Is the key to the folk art crackle a thicker layer? The deco art, you mean?"
I
So
haven't got folk art. I've got Deco Arts, and I've got Chroma, and I've got Golden.
right.
And the
So
key to any crackle at all is that if you want fine cracks, put a thin layer on. If you want big cracks with large areas, then put on a thicker layer. So the thicker the paste or glaze, the bigger the cracks. Okay? And if you want a fine crackle, go for something like the Chroma crackle. Yeah, I know it's difficult to get hold of. I think they make it in Canada. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Canada. So we've got wild honey. I'm just going to make a little note on that one so that I know that's
okay.
wild honey. Was that wild honey or rusty hinge, that one? That was rusty hinge, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's No, you put the rusty hinge back, or did you pull it back out? You put that back in the file. That's the wild honey.
I did. I put it back in the file. Yes, so that's the wild honey. Good, thank you. So let me write on it because I'm going to forget. You can tell, can't you?
Mhm.
Write on it in very pale writing. In fact, I'll write on this side.
Okay, Evie, you go take care. Love you too.
Wild honey. And in which case, I'll write on this one as well before I start with the rusty hinge. There we go. And what's the other one? You wanted to see this one, didn't you? We do this one next. Active mahogany.
Yeah. Eddie says Blick in the U.S. has the Chroma Crackle.
Oh, there you go. Lucky you. I couldn't get it from anywhere.
Uda says she used the Chroma and it flaked off. What did she do wrong, Fran?
What did she put it on?
I think that's the key is what did you put it on that it didn't adhere?
Well, you can see that when I showed you the old paper one, it was cracking off there. That was because it was thin paper. But I have before now gone over the crackle when it lifts like that and put a little bit of glue underneath to stick it back down. Sorry. But I think it's the movement in the paper that makes it crack. And of course, what it's on, because if you put it on something like acrylic color, then it's not going to crack off so much because it's a more flexible plastic stuff. So this is a powdery sort of stuff because it's water reactive, so it doesn't cling so much to it.
She said she put it on craft paper bag.
Craft paper bag. Well,
that'll move.
That's a bit stiff. So yeah, but it will move. Yeah. I mean, most of the crackle I've done in the past has been on canvas or on canvas board. Now, on canvas board or wood board, it doesn't move at all. It's fine. But even so, it can crack a bit. And I've gone over that sort of crackle with something like a matte gel or a gloss gel, depending on what effect you want, and that can seal it in place.
Okay.
So that's worth knowing.
Hmm.
Right, chroma. Let's do the chroma. Let me
Okay.
move some of
Well,
these.
you're putting this crackle over the sprays
Yeah,
and it's adhering. And of course, if you
sort
put
of.
it on really thick, it's probably going to flake off over time
Yeah,
anyway, right?
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a test sheet to show what it does, and some will remain. So I'll still be able to see what it does with
Yeah.
the distress. And I've not actually used it much with the distress, if at all. I don't really remember using it.
Hi,
So it
Carrie.
was a good experiment anyway. And if nothing else, I've got the video to look back and go, oh, that's what it does.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Kerry.
He says, hi, Fran.
Hiya. I keep meaning to watch your craft haul, but I think it'll just make me want to buy things.
Poor Carrie.
Oh.
I think he has a disclaimer on there somewhere that he's not enabling or encouraging. He's just show and tell. It's just show and tell. You're on your own if you purchase.
Right, golden. Might be nice to try some light and fluffy on distress and see what happens with that. Because that won't crack, but I think it might absorb some colour.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Yeah. Now, you know what you can do? If you don't want it to absorb the colour, you can put glue down on your on the card like this. Put glue down on it, and then put your crackle on top of the glue, or rather put a non-crackle paste on top of the glue, and you might get crackle that way, because that was the original way people did crackle before people started making crackle.
Yeah. As the glue dried, it shrunk up and it took the crackle with it. And it broke, it split the crackle as it dried. It
Oh, that's
broke.
a shame.
So that's what caused the crackle effect.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I thought you meant it just popped off.
No. Yeah, Carrie is good idea. He says, I didn't overspend. I had a budget, which I stuck to. And in doing so, I saved money on packaging and postage. Mm-hmm.
True. Yep.
If you have a budget, stick to it.
Yep.
I know budgets.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't. I'd have to, but I couldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I go, oh, I haven't got any money left. I can't have any of that.
No, there's always next time.
Oh, I doubt it. I've never been to America in my life. I'd be quite astounded if I ever managed to get there. I'd love to. Yeah, we'd be going via Las Vegas, not for the gambling, for the craft shops.
I never thought of that. When we go over to the river, we go up to, I want to say it's Lansing, and there's a shop there called Horse Falls, I think it is. But anyway, it's a like a discount place where the guy who runs it, the family who runs it, they go out to Vegas to these big auction houses and that for craft supplies. So he comes back with discontinued or unsold the large sheets, paper packs of paper craft paper. You know what I'm thinking of? Like Carrie uses it. Oh gosh,
Wouldn't
worth
it be
having.
nice if he had some Tim Holtz embossing powders?
It's whatever they have, and it varies what he comes back with. I've gotten some very discounted drawing paper and sketching paper from there, like a pad of 200 sheets for $1.99. Um, the big 12 by 12 sheets of scrapbooking paper. That's the word I want. Scrapbooking paper.
Hmm.
So it's both sides, and it would be like six something for the smaller pack, which to me is a good deal.
Yeah, sounds it.
But it's a packed store. It's wall to wall. They have everything: pot holders, dishes, greeting cards, papers, school supplies, barbecue grill supplies, yarn, thread.
Look at that.
Very
Picking
nice.
the colour already.
And then during the pandemic, I went once after the pandemic, and they had not been able to get out there because of COVID, and so he didn't have a good supply of anything I wanted. So I haven't been back in 3 years, maybe.
I bet he's been since.
Probably now that everything's opened up again, yeah. But I mean, I kind of got a full room right now, so it's not like I've been jonesing for anything.
No. Well, there we are. That's the last one. That's the aged mahogany one. And it's quite thick in places, so
Yes, it
that
is.
could definitely take overnight to dry. So I do like the wild honey. That's really thick. Really thick.
Bring it up on camera better.
Look
There we go. Oh,
at that glistening.
all of it, all four of them have a glisten to them.
Yeah.
I thought the white would be more matty, but I'm seeing a
Well,
shine.
not dry yet. This one's a little bit more matty, this one.
Yeah.
But this one is more like a liquidy sort of. So
Hmm.
it looks glossy. Yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Well, I used to do drywall spackling, so I would just go get some spackle paste and see what I got. Hit or miss.
Now you can see this is drying even more.
And yes, now bring it over to your right, towards your that way. See where I'm pointing?
No.
There you go. Now you got it. Okay, that's better.
Now you can see
Yes.
the crackles forming in that middle stripe.
It looks more like little dimples.
Yeah, 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 it is. It's dimpling. And this one.
Nope, can't
Try to
see it.
curve it round the other way so that it will. Maybe if I dry it from underneath, it might help it a bit. I don't know. I don't like to use the heat gun on them because they're just so magical when they happen themselves.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you like to wake up and see surprise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Well,
You
that's
don't
those.
see it, Rhonda? They're just little bitty ripples in the. It's really hard to see. They're just little ripples, little dimples in the
Wonder if
clear
shining
one.
my torch on it might help a bit. Let me
Oh,
see.
maybe. It's just the clear one at the top that's showing any effect so far. So can you see the little dimples there at the top of the third one? Oh, that's
It's
messing.
flickering.
It's messing with your Kindle camera.
Yeah.
There you go. It looks like little stars or glitter in the
Yeah. It's the crackle beginning to form. So
yep.
it is working. So see what I mean? It does start to crack.
Right,
when
Rhonda.
you've done a few. That's
Mhm.
only the third one, that one. Was there any others? I only did those 3, didn't I?
Mhm.
Yep. So, the only other things to do are doing the other things, the other one. Now, what have we got? Let's see what I've got hanging about.
Right.
I've got
Rita
bundled
said she
sage.
heard that
I
using the
think,
heat tool is not recommended for crackle. I think it dries it too fast and
yeah, you don't
and
get such crack. Yeah.
yeah, you want it to dry all the way through the thickness. With the heat gun, it may only just get the top layer and fool you, and then it won't move.
I have 2 in tea dye. So where's tea dye? Tea dye. So I don't have that in there.
Yes, Carrie. Carrie says the best crackle effects come from letting it dry naturally.
Yes, exactly. Maybe they're in here. There we are. So we can do some of those. Now I did one with the villainous potion, didn't I? Villainous potion. Yes, I did the distress reinker and the distress oxide reinker. And I did the paint underneath. I should have used more water with the paint. I didn't do that. I have to do it again. So if we use this for the distress oxide reinker, which is this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, as it's oxide.
Shaky, shaky. Listen
Shaky,
for that
shaky,
little
shaky,
ball.
shaky. Shaky, 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 shaky.
Rhonda says when she used crackle on her box, the crackle took a while to dry.
Yep, it does, yeah. That's why I leave it overnight.
Yeah.
Right. Water. Lovely. So let that one dry. And then I've got this one, which is the Distress ink.
Did you ever think
That's
of
the
wetting the
stain.
paper before you put the drops on?
No.
That way when you spritz it with water, it doesn't, I don't know, just different technique.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah.
Wet paper and then drop.
I can do it with this one if you like.
Whatever floats your boat.
Have I got the tea dye paint? Got forest moss paint.
Eddie's biting his tongue. I don't know what he's not saying, but he's being a good boy, I guess.
Oh.
Not much fun, but there you go.
I can't see any others there. There might be some hiding over there, but I don't know.
Oh,
So we'll leave space for it on there. But what we'll do is we'll do these down below like this. So I'm copying the layout. But what she did, what Louisa did, was she put some on one edge like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got the water. And she put the water at the edge. You see that good. So that it would run into it.
Oh. Mama's got a squeeze.
Fun. A bit more there.
Plays all night.
And she mopped it up. She thought it was too much. I don't know. I rather like it.
I like it. Nice movement.
So you can see where the colour went straight into the paper and then where it's spreading out.
Okay, which one is this?
This is the tea dye
Yep, okay.
Distress Ink Reinker for the ink pad. For tea dye. I like tea dye very much.
I gotta say, I want to know why Ranger isn't sending you all kinds of promotional products.
Yeah, I wish they would.
Yeah,
Hey, Ranger.
yeah. Or Tim Holtz, one or the other.
Yeah. Look at the lovely effect of that, though. I mean, that is just amazing. Look at that.
Isn't it a bit
That's
dendritic?
the
Is that what you
clouds.
would call
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Look at it flowing out. That's lovely. That's on card and that's on paper because it happens. That's what I put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the tea dye ones. I don't have anything else right here for tea dye, but if I have anything else, I will do other things with it.
Okay.
But I don't think I've got any more. I think that's it on tea dye. So I try to keep them all together, you know, so that I know what's what.
Julie, could you send me the link? She has a link to a video that shows using glue for Crackle.
Uh-huh.
Could you send it to me, Julie? Please? Thank you.
If I had the paint, I could do that as well, but I don't have it. I mean, I might get it later. It might be over there. I don't know. That's the point of doing all this, so that you know what you've got.
Thank
I
you.
don't know.
And it's mostly to know what you don't have.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's about it, actually. It's 8:41. We're a bit
Oh,
soon, but
Carrie, I agree. I
all
see. I have the old paper and um in the spray stain, and there is a tinge of green in it. I just used it too.
the old paper is quite green, I felt.
Yeah, there's a tinge of green to it that, yeah, you don't think of old paper having a green tinge to it. You think more like it's going to be brown or right there you go. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't. To me, that's moldy paper, not old paper.
Yeah, it's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, it's quite
Oh yeah, I have that. I have that spray
different.
stain, and I like it.
I've got old paper there.
But the old paper title name of it is quite misleading.
That's what it
Thank
looks
you,
like.
Julie.
Walnut stain.
I'm doing a journal spread that's autumn themed, and I grabbed it and used it. It was exactly what I wanted for background, but the name didn't do it. I just knew what the color was from watching Fran. If I looked at it for the name, I would have thought, no, that's not what I want to use. So it's a bit misleading. They need to retitle it.
Well, what would you call it then? Moldy paper.
Um, moldy paper or forest floor or yeah, it
Lichen. Lichen.
there you go. Even
Got
that, like
thousands
Rhonda
of
says, it looks like a very pale sage green, but they have a bundled sage. So
yeah.
where's the bundled sage? That's it right there,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yes. So look at the
They
difference.
add to it. That's more like lichen.
Ledger green.
Then you get lichen in lots of different colours. You get white lichen, you get that greeny colour, you get rusty hinge colour lichen, you get bright orange. You can get all sorts of lichen in it. So there's so many different colours.
Yeah.
Let's have a go with the with this here. Doing it like that. That's plenty. That's old paper, right? It's my big squeezy bottle. It seems to work better if you start at the other end of the paper and wet that and then join the dots.
So this
Unless it's
is me
thick.
being terrible with spray bottles. If I need to be precise, I would do better to just get a jar of water and a pipette and drop it. Wow. There you go.
Fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to leave that still to. God, this is so great. I wish I had that in the old paper. I don't think I have. I think that's the only one I got.
Pipette, you mean, Julie? Pipette? Is it pipette or pipette?
Pipette.
Pipette?
Pipette. I've got
Tomatoes,
the
tomatoes.
this one in Lucky Clover. Have I
Oh,
done a Lucky Clover?
I don't think you have.
I think I might have.
No, no, no.
No, I don't think I have. I think you're quite right. There's not one there.
Mm-mm.
I should have to do one.
Oh, something else. Pronounce what? Pronounce that? That. How do you say that? That. Sorry, Julie, I'm just playing with you.
That. This and that. Oh, by the way, I found my copper coloured.
Okay, Diane. See you later. Oh, lichen or lichen? Yeah. Oh, good.
Yes, a question for ages, but I'm so glad I found these. They were up in the old craft room at the end there when I was tidying it up.
Here's a
Yummy.
tip. Here's a tip for everybody. This is not an affirmation, just a tip. If you have a bird bath that you put water in, obviously, if you don't want it to grow algae, get a little piece of copper tubing, copper pipe, and put it down in the water, and the copper prevents the water from growing the algae.
Is it good for the birds?
I don't
Copper
think,
flavoured water?
as
I'm
far as
just wondering.
I got that the other day from a bird site, from a
All
birding.
right, so it probably is all right then. Right.
So it can't be any worse than the exhaust and fuel runoff on the road going into a ditch and the birds are down there drinking it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Well, I think that's it for that. And strictly speaking, there is no more to it unless I come up with another idea.
So this is the end of the series.
This is the end of the series. I've still got loads of work to do doing all the others to match up.
Right.
So I'll probably do a sort of reveal show and tell type video at some point when I've finished, which will probably be sometime next year. It's just so many bits. I mean, I've got antique linen in that, and I've got scattered straw in that. There's just these little bits, you know.
Well, for me, I wanted to thank you because for me, it's not just the file folders that you're creating here, this inventory that you're doing of what you have, but it's also seeing these colors and how they show on the cardstock and the paper over white, black, and print paper, and also
Yeah, that
seeing them,
was all Luisa's idea,
yeah,
wasn't it?
and seeing them laid out to where I could see, look what that goes with that, and wild honey with the bundled sage, and so I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
thank you. I do like being able to see what these can do. So, and to look at them against other things, like that's the rusty hinge,
Hi,
that's
Carla.
the wild honey. So you can look at these and go, which one do you want? I mean, do you want a little bit of this and a lot of that, or on your project? You know,
Right.
and you may want a little bit of that to go with it, or you may want something more like
Yep.
the twisted
Well,
citron.
just the old paper and the bundled sage together, the comparison there on the colors and the twisted citron, looking at the greens and going, well, which one would I want to use? You've really displayed them nicely for us to look at.
Thank you.
And
Well, I'm
and
glad
how they
you
lay out with each other. Now, see, I wouldn't put the twisted citron with the aged mahogany. It just doesn't work for me.
No, no. Well, you don't need to.
But I like it with the
But
old
it looks
paper
quite nice
and the
with
bundle
that,
page.
doesn't it?
Yeah, that's not bad.
It goes
Um,
quite well with the rusty hinge and the wild honey.
Julie asked, "What paper did you use?" So that's back at the very beginning, but she could tell
Yeah.
you.
Well, I used A4 card, which I got from
Right,
Hobbycraft
Carrie,
here in the
exactly.
UK. And does it say in here what it is? Or is it just not on there?
And Darcy, she'll do that too. This is more of an almost like an inventory of what she has and doesn't have at a glance as far as colors. So
Yeah.
instead of picking up her
Oh, yes,
bottles
I
and
do.
going all through them, she can look at this box of cards that she has.
I picked up the wrong one. Sorry, guys. It's this one. So it's A4 Premium Smooth Card White from Hobbycraft. So I would assume, oh,
300
what have I done?
GSM.
I've done something funny.
You're still here. So it was 300 GSM, Julie. So whatever paper you use.
As I was
She'll,
saying, I picked up the wrong packet of cards, so this is the right one. I would assume that any 300 white smooth card, 300 GSM white smooth card,
right.
may have a similar effect. But you saw what happened when I used paper in the old paper one, how it curled up and cracked so much.
Yeah, it didn't have body. Yep.
What it did to the crackle. But it's interesting anyway. I'll probably keep that anyway.
So
Not
here's
going
the
to.
thing, Julie. You asked about what paper did she use. Um, Bottom line, she used products and used the products and the technique that she usually uses when she uses these. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that's the best thing to do. It's ignore what I've done
And use what you have.
and use what you would normally use, because it's a source of information for you to use in your projects. So if you use a canvas card with a canvas texture, then use that to do it. If you use a card with if you use watercolor paper a lot, use watercolor paper. I mean, I use some watercolor paper in one of these. No, not that one. There we are. No, that's the. It's in one of these. There we are in the inner pages. I used watercolor paper here because I wanted
Over
to
here.
see what the
Down.
what the torn edges, what it would show on the torn edges. And some colors show up differently on the torn edges to others. I can see a line around the torn edge there, and I can see a purer color on the white of the torn edge.
Right.
And there's the color on tea dyed coffee dyed paper. I usually use both.
So here's the thing. She started out using scissors and cut out those little squares. And I said, well,
that was the first one. Yeah, that's still in. That's here.
Right. There you go.
That was what Louisa Heinzel did. And
Exactly,
so I
Darcy.
copied that. And I used a book page, I've got a huge dictionary that I use all the time for book pages because it's huge. And I've got 2 copies of that dictionary. So one of them has a label on it saying 4 book pages. So, and then there's coffee dyed paper. And these 2 are the bare card. That one's just the color on the card. And this one is the color with water on.
Yes.
This is the oxide on this side. So this has got a black piece of paper there, piece of my Astro Brights card, so that you can see the reaction of the oxide on black. Putting the ink on black wouldn't be of any point because it hardly shows. You'd be really put to it to see it. So it's better to do one without water and one with. So you've got another. section.
Basically, use techniques that you find yourself commonly using. Use paper that you find yourself commonly using. And it
I did
doesn't
pretty much
have,
did do that.
yeah, it doesn't have to be the file folder presentation that Fran's using. She's
No.
following along what Louisa Heinzel did. It could be, you could just make swatch cards like Carrie did, or whatever Darcy has. Do it your way.
Yeah, I like these because you can look at them this way round as well. So you
Yeah.
can put them in a wider container. So
Yep.
that's something Louise Heinzel said in hers. She said, "Don't do what I did, do what I say, because I did it this way." And she put hers the other way up so that she could read them like that when she held them.
Mm-hmm.
When you put them like that to go into a wide folder, they're upside down. You can't read it.
Exactly,
Well, you can,
Julie.
so there you go. There we are. That's this for now. And I just love this. And I keep stopping and looking at that. It's just marvelous. What was that? Tea dye.
The tea dye. That's the tea dye. I wanna be there in the morning when you wake up and look at the crackle.
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be
I
lovely.
want you to film yourself, or at least your audio, of when you walk in and what you see. Just the audio. You don't have to put it on camera, but I want to hear you squealing with delight.
I probably will. Yeah. Okay. Well, we will stop now because my back's getting a bit irritated by things, and I could go and have something to eat. That would be nice. Yes.
There you go.
Okay, dokie. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'm kind of sorry it's over, really. Of course, for me it isn't because I've got more to do. But here we go, ending stream.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Have a good, safe weekend.
Thank you, everybody.